Thank you, sir.
How long you have been with this Indian Trade Services?
Sir, I got selected in 2018.
18.
So after that, nearly 1 year of training, and then in the field I have been posted in December, since December. So
Yes.
it's in Kolkata.
Kolkata.
Since December.
And tell me, what are you doing in this trade service? What is your role?
Sir, basically our role is right now in the field we have two kinds of role. So right now I am posted in field, so we are implementing the government schemes like Niryat Bandhu, MEIS, Mercantile Export from India scheme, like advance authorization. In the foreign trade policy, there are many schemes. So regional authorities have the power to implement those schemes, give subsidies to exporters, and interact with the exporters, engage them, and grievance redressal of the exporters. So those kind of field activity.
Tell me, why our exports are not picking up? They have been, as a matter of fact, they are totally stagnant, and if at all there has been some decline. Are the government scheme not good enough, or subsidy, you need more subsidy, or what are the issues?
Sir, to say subsidy per se, I don't think subsidy is the way forward for in the long term. But as far as export is not picking up, there are multiple reasons. Basically, our manufacturing capacity and the price competitiveness in terms of Chinese products or the products manufactured in Vietnam or other places. So there we see the quality of the product and they come up with the price which our industries are not able to match. So that's where we are lacking, because the whole international market is all about the market determined price. So if we give the quality product with the competitiveness of the price, you can get the market, capture the market.
What is our total exports?
So right now we are
annual exports.
Annual export $400 billion of exports. 400
billion.
Yes, nearly.
And how much of this in gems and jewelry?
I'm sorry,
because
sir.
Most of it is also import.
Sir,
yes. We do the value added.
Yes, sir. We do generally 15 to 20% of value addition, and
25% is also, and that's a big chunk also.
Yes, sir. Gems and jewelry is our second largest export
so
product.
If you take out that export, then it will go even further down.
Yes, sir. So
now our government is talking of 5 trillion economy and $1 trillion of exports.
Yes.
Is it realistic?
Sir, it's realistic, but how long will it take that?
Says that which can compete in the international market. So that means it will need a new look at everything, in the sense that we have products to export, in the sense that which can compete in the international market.
Yes, sir.
So that means it will need a new look at everything, in the sense that we have to do a lot of homework.
Correct, sir. Correct. So we have to go, like in the recent budget also it's been announced, and Prime Minister Modi also announced from Red Fort on 15th of August that we need to develop district as an exporter. Every district having some kind of potential, some kind of niche products. And there is we focus at the grassroots level, and there if MSME
Who is supposed to we develop in the sense that the state administration is supposed to play a role in that?
Yes, sir. It's been envisaged by Commerce Secretary, and the high level meeting is already conducted.
So tell me, suppose you are heading a district, for example.
Yes.
What role exactly you can play? The resources at your disposal, what role you will really be able to play if you look at it? What role you can play?
Sir, district administration as far as first criteria is the law and order to maintain in the district. Second is they look for the state government's welfare programs and the public distribution systems and all. So in their checklist, exports come in the last. But if we try to manage and make export as a main criteria, or then we can see that district having some kind of potential in agri product or some kind of potential or horticulture or anything, handicrafts, anything. That can be boosted, and the people from the agriculture may be shifted to that region, and then we will see that shift from the agriculture to manufacturing, and then we can see that ultimately it comes to services and
Do you think we have to reach out to the rural areas and develop the small scale industry? More Philip is required?
Yes, sir, I think so, sir. More investment, infrastructure facilities like cold storage, movement of goods and logistics, and
Also skill development.
yes, sir. Yes, of course, sir. Skill development.
Because India is the only country where we talk of unskilled workers. Nowhere in the world they use the word unskilled because the worker has to have some skill.
Yes,
I think we have to develop skill.
we have to develop.
And now you have seen the visit of President Trump, it's all over. And there was a news that the trade negotiator is not coming. So there was so much talk about trade deal. Now we say the trade negotiator is not coming. So what has happened?
Sir, I would say in today's world, there is no diplomacy beyond trade. We have to, everywhere we see that trade needs to be inculcated. So we have surplus with the US as far as our exports are concerned.
Why the trade representative is not coming?
Sir,
What has
because,
gone wrong?
They may come right now, it's just a speculation that they may not come, they are not available and all. But their demands are like, they
Is it
want.
speculation or they have conveyed that he is not coming?
Sir, still I have gone through the newspaper where they said that they might come, it's still in the may or might.
So we are speculating that he might.
Yes, sir. And sir, their demands are like to reduce the duties on, custom duties on many of the products, so reducing the
And
tariffs.
what we are asking?
And we are asking that we should also we also want.
So what are our demands?
So like H1B visas and movement of, we have the expertise in services, so we want that access in that.
These services are included, are a part of the trade deal. Does it include in the trade deal? Are services included?
So there are two things. One is merchandise trade deal that we do, and there is services trade deal, services negotiations also that.
No, but in this trade deal or trade negotiation, are the services part of this?
So I'm not much aware about that, but we negotiate services along with the goods also.
That we keep on talking.
Yes, sir.
You think America is going to budge on the H1B visa? What is your honest assessment?
I don't
It
think
does not apply only to India.
Yes, sir.
The H1B visa.
it's for now.
Yes. How much H1B visa they gave last year? They have reduced somewhat.
They have reduced, sir, but exact figure I am not able to recall.
80,000 or something like that. And Indians get a allowance here in that. So in effect, we are asking them to increase the H1B visa. That's what we are
Yes,
asking.
yes.
What are the chances of that?
Sir, it's very least likely that they are going to grant on that.
So should we ask something else which they will grant?
So we are asking, like we also want like our agro products and other products. We are asking that needs to get, and like they are imposing the extra duties on our steels and aluminums.
And
Similar
they
to
keep on
the
taking us to WTO all the time.
That's also,
So is it the right time to invite Trump to India?
Sir, it's not only the trade. We have to think from the holistic purpose, like strategic negotiations. We have so many now defense deals with the US, people-to-people
Are we going to
contacts.
export something to US
Uh,
in that field of defense?
I don't think so, sir, but we may get the advantage of taking
We get advanced technology.
yes, sir, technology transfer in terms of.
Do you think WTO is relevant now? In the trade wars and whatever is happening in present world?
Sir, if we see from 1995 when WTO established until now, in these last 25 years, we have evolved as a WTO as a platform where every country has equal rights and we make the decisions based on consensus. So I don't think we have better platform than this to negotiate trades, and also it has dispute settlement bodies and all. So we have good body, and India has been always a procrastinator and like protagonist. I'm so sorry, sir. Protagonist in terms of rule-based and free and fair trade. So I don't think, sir, we are going to do away with the WTO. We need to evolve WTO, even if ministerial conference failed in Vienna.
There are issues now within WTO. After Americanization became the key word for America. Tell me between Americanization and globalization,
Sir,
what is going to stay?
Sir, to give a short answer, of course, globalization is going to stay. But Americanization term came like WTO platform. As a platform, US has utilized this platform very well in terms of in the name of globalization and penetrating into many markets with their products. Like today world, if we see the pizzas and the KFC and other like US products, various kind of things. That's because of the
Let's talk of competition in this market. Okay, so Competition Commission of India recently ruled against Amazon, treating Amazon business as an unfair competition. What do you think will be future of e-commerce in India?
So e-commerce has great potential. It's been in one report it's been said that by 2025 we will have e-commerce of nearly $200 billion. And like with the Digital India campaign and Skill India and people are looking for jobs and internet penetration is happening all over India. So I think e-commerce is going to stay. Only thing is it needs to be more fair, rule based, and their Competition Commission of India has a role to play with make checks and balances.
So they decided anything on Amazon or Flipkart is unfair.
Sir, they are big pockets.
So it is going to hit. But benefit the domestic sector.
Yes.
So there is a complaint that local suppliers and manufacturers are leaving.
So true, sir. Amazon and if you see Walmart backed Flipkart, they are deep pockets. They are having very huge money and they can give deep discounts. So we have to consider the brick and mortar shop also where they are unable to compete with the online. So the balance is made like this Amazon or Flipkart, they could be only the platform. And there the sellers will register and then any small shops can also register.
What is the difference between idea and competition?
Sir, IPR stands for intellectual property rights, like any company who invests.
Or products to be.
Yes.
So what is the difference between idea and competition?
So competition talks about it should be more open and general for all. Like there should not be any specific advantage to one company in terms of any products capturing the market or predatory pricing. That competition comes into the picture to make it balance it out with the other companies.
So there is no monopoly.
No monopoly, yes.
And what is idea?
IPR is given like any company invests a lot of resources, money and all time to make some product, come up with the new innovative products. So in that case, that company should be given advantage of utilizing whatever investment it has made. So some benefit, short-term monopoly, yes. Correct, sir.
Let's last question I want to ask you the role of Indian diaspora towards benefiting India. It can be economic benefit, it can be image improvements. Tell me how is it really important?
So India is having one of the largest diaspora all over the world. We are in US, Europe, Western, like West Asia, Middle East countries and all. And there they play a crucial role in terms of first thing they influence, they lobbying their policy making in those countries as well as hold the strategic posts. If we see it's Mr. Satya Nadella holding Microsoft, or if we see Google founder, I just forgot the name. So those are Indians. And if we come back like to see the influence. Second is India is getting remittances from them. Yes.
What is the remittance we get? Any idea?
So figure again I don't have, but India is number one in getting remittances. Yes.
Total FDI, size of FDI?
I'll have to brush up those figures.
AI size and contribution by India.
Yes.
Okay. If you see the international relations, so there is an issue of Brexit. So what is Brexit?
So they made a call in 2016, and the referendum was held in that with the 50% of vote they opted to come out of the European Union in terms of. So Britain, actually this United Kingdom, all the four countries in that UK, that Britain consists of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland.
Okay, so how will that affect
Britain, that Britishers are citing that they are going to get more benefit. They will renegotiate the deal with the EU, and then they will go for. They are saying that they will go for their colonial times era, like those countries they are having Commonwealth of nations that already they are holding. So in that they will negotiate and they can get the markets there for their products. So
is it going to weaken the United Kingdom's status vis-a-vis France and Germany in Europe?
Present situation, sir, I don't think it's going to anyway impact UK short term. Long term, if we see, there might be chances of UK again trying to get into the EU if it finds that that did not come as beneficial as they thought.
So you believe UK will emerge as more powerful after Brexit?
They thought so, sir. I also think like that.
But you recently see France and Germany have become more assertive.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think there will be some impact?
So in short term there will be impact, but long term I don't know, means after 10-20 years what will be the scenario.
Why do you think so?
Sir, if UK comes out with the good strategic deal like with the India, China or other countries and try
So if it
to,
comes out,
yes sir.
so do you think they will come out, there is some strategy?
There may be a mechanism, sir, but I'm never of that. How they will.
How will it affect India? And India specifically agriculture?
So now there has been a talks like UK and India will talk about that bilateral trade and negotiations, how that free trade and all we can talk. And if Britain is one of the major market in EU, if that comes out, then we will have to again like BTIA we are discussing with the European Union. So there we will have to be little more assertive that they should give us the more market coverage in terms of, because we are losing major market in that, and then we will have to renegotiate with the UK in terms of investment. But as far as other policies like migration of workers or visa granting, those were they were before EU also they were separate in that. So I don't think in that regime we are going to get any benefits much.
Is it going to affect globalization?
Yes, many of the critics are citing that it's a new trend of protectionism that's against deglobalization. Like instead of coming into one bigger market economy, one common market, they are coming out of that. So it's indication of protectionism.
So you see this is an indication of protectionism.
Yes.
On the other hand, India is supporting globalization. So there is a conflict between these. So how do you see when there is a conflict, we will be able to get a benefit?
So in terms of they thought like Britishers, like Britain has thought that okay, it will be beneficial for their countries to come out of EU, but they are sovereign in terms of making that decision, and any country can go protectionist in terms of raising tariffs and not allowing the free flow of goods.
What happens with European Union? Will the European Union lose its influence in international relations?
I don't think so. I don't think so. European Union will have still they have 27 countries. Germany and France will hold it strongly, and I think they are the major economies and they won't let it go easily, because the seamless movement in Schengen area seamless movements of goods. That they have benefited a lot in.
So their relationship with US, will it affect?
That's also, sir, in terms of economy, I don't think it's going to affect. However, US is having separate plans like now. They are saying we will renegotiate NATO and all. So in that sector, we may see some changes. But economy-wise, I don't think Britain coming out of EU will not impact much.
Okay. So currently we have good relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the possible areas that we can cooperate with Saudi Arabia?
Sir, our major dependence for fuel like oil, crude oil, we are dependent on Saudi Arabia. Plus our large number of Indian expat community are working there. So in terms of, we need to think not only the Saudi Arabia but complete West Asia as a one single pan in which how we negotiate with Saudi Arabia so that it will not impact our relation with Qatar or Israel or Iran, or how we negotiate with one another.
There is
So
a
that we
conflict
need
between
to.
Saudi Arabia and Iran. So if we come close to Saudi Arabia, so our relationship with Iran will affect. So how will we use establish a balance?
Sir, in our West Asia policy, we have already dehyphenated major countries in terms of whatever relations between them. We are not going to bother about that, and we have negotiated well in the past with. We have good relation with Iran, Iraq, as well as Saudi Arabia, and nowadays we are coming out with a strong relationship with Oman, Saudi Arabia, and defense relationship, strategic relationship. Saudi Arabia is going to build a strategic oil reserves in India, and like.
But again, if we see, if we compare the relationship, we see there are more benefits from Saudi Arabia. So slowly and steadily we are tilting towards Saudi Arabia. Do you think?
No, sir. It's just a matter of opportunity. Like right now, okay, Saudi Arabia is beneficial to us in some terms. We are there with them also, but it's not that we are leaving hands with or we are completely ignoring Iran or some country. We are considering that also, like we are making.
There is one competitive, one competition that you can see in the States, especially China is greatly influencing that. So, do you see some kind of change in our strategy?
So, our strategy to negotiate or develop a relationship with any country is not with just a country or the administration of the country. We are going with the people side, like people to people contact, more cultural contact. Our community is there. So, building up the bond that we have. It's not just like the Chinese having deep pockets and they are going to invest and get the grant.
So diplomacy will only bring some good relations, okay, but it will not bring strategic significance, strategic difference. So tell me the strategic areas where we can greatly influence this.
So, major thing is we can go for like. I said strategic relations in terms of defense deals, or India somehow can make India as a make in India in defense products, and then somehow we are able to sell those products into the Western Asian regions.
Are we trying to do that?
We have target of that, like 35,000 crore rupees of target by 2025. We have to export defense goods.
Om Kant, I was just observing your interview. You have already been selected in the Indian Trade Service. Congratulations for that. And honorable board members were asking many questions on the trade, and you were responding to them quite well. So I think you should be happy with whatever service you have got, and you will do well, I'm telling you. So why still you want to go for another higher whatever service?
Sir, I kept on trying for IAS because the level of diversity and the responsibilities in various capacities the IAS provides in the very beginning of the career. That level of diversity of role or field posting is not in the trade service. It's not that I am not satisfied with the trade service. It's a very good service. We are also interacting with lot many exporters, but the people interface of the public interface in the IAS is large, and I think that's where I think.
I think people interface is much more in police service. You have not opted for that.
Sir, due to substandard height, last year when I was selected, I got to know that I'm not eligible for that.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
wish to
Perfect,
join
perfect. But and then I noticed you have only opted for few services, and there are some railway services also.
Yes.
You have any idea government has taken some decision about these services, Group A services?
Yes, sir. I read in the newspaper that all the technical services in the railway, like engineering services and all the management services like IRTS, IRAS, all going to be merged, and the one name, Indian Railway Management Service, it's been constituted.
So what do you think of this decision of the government?
So I think the high level decision is, and that based on the concurrence and considering the various rounds of talks with the railway board and all. So it must be in terms of India's bureaucracy is concerned, it will reduce the departmentalization, compartmentalization of services, like I am from this service, you are from that service. So it will be good in better management of services.
But as you mentioned, you are an engineer also,
Yes.
and you are appearing for civil services.
Yes.
Is it good point that all the engineering services of the railways, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, signaling, telecommunication, all these engineering services were there, right? And they are being clubbed with the civil services,
Yes.
which are generic in nature.
So that's where one critic lies. I also, when got to know this, I said at least there could have been two parts, like all engineering in one service and all management in one service, and then somehow they could have come up with the, like, okay, how they will balance it out, because there were more compartmentalization, like you are a mechanical service, one is from electrical service, so it's better to have one engineering service and one management service, but they have merged both also. So let's see how it works out. I still
For a while, you assume that you are selected in the last batch in one of the railways civil services, okay?
Yes.
And then you come to know, oh, now all the services have been merged.
Yes.
Would you have been a happy person?
So I made a conscious decision here that in terms of, I have seen, means all the services go through some kind of evolution,
Yeah.
churning and all, and there have been also rumors that maybe the other services also,
As a
like all
public
account
servant,
services.
once you are selected, you are serving. What do you think are the avenues open for a public servant to question a decision of the government?
So I think before the actual decision made, before that we can put up our matters or the objections, all the commissions on the file. If once decision is made, I think we should concur with that decision and we should obey the orders and we should follow. And this decision is taken at the high level with a lot of considerations. So I don't think, we only can see that it's an experiment. If that works out,
Who has taken the decision? Which is the authority in the government?
sir, it's exactly I'm not sure, but Railway Minister Honorable Piyush Goyal announced that, and it was discussed in the Railway Board, I think. I'm just guessing.
It's the cabinet, na? Cabinet takes the
Cabinet,
decision. Right, it was not the ministerial, this was the cabinet decision. So who can change the decision? Can president change the decision?
Sir, the decisions made by cabinet is under Article 74. It's binding on the president. So president will sign that decision.
So let's say you join this post as in the district, first posting.
Yes.
3 things you would like to do, new things, innovations you would like to do
Yes.
in your district.
So first I will assess what's the district in the district. What is
your home state, any district?
Okay, sir. So, sir, in any district I will be there. Then I will assess, means what's the revenue land and how much is the agricultural land, what kind of lands are there, and how many people are. Based on that, I will certainly, my focus area will be, if it is agricultural district, then agriculture will be my priority.
So you pick up your own district, that's what he's saying. That now you are from Bihar.
Okay, sir. I'm from Samastipur.
Samastipur. Let's say
Okay.
Right.
Okay, sir, I know that. So in that, I think first will be the agriculture, second will be the education. The quality of education in my district.
So what innovative measures you will take?
Yes, sir, I am coming to that. So
Right.
And third is sir healthcare. So innovative measures will be like agriculture. I will go for like land consolidation at the village level. Farmers producer organization I will try to make and convey at the block level, that in that block if all the villages or even at the village level, at the gram panchayat level, if all farmers come together and it will be like based on the proportion of the land, their profits will be shared. And if someone is giving 1 acre, someone is giving 3 acres, so his profit will be accordingly. And then based on that our productivity will increase, because right now so much fragmentation is in my district. Second, in agriculture, if we do that, we will solve a lot of problems. In education, sir, I think experience based learning students should be given more, rather than it should be like for 8 hours school, 4 hours should be the classroom and 4 hours should be the same what they have learned based on the experience. And one more major in education, that ethics and environment, it should be the part of curriculum from the beginning of the
What do you mean
school.
by ethics? Explain.
Ethics is like sir, that what we had in moral education, kind of like children should be inculcated the basic values and the significance of life and values that needs to be inculcated in their professional and personal career. So it should be inculcated into child since childhood. That will be.
Who decides the syllabus in the school?
Sir, the basic thing is like how means the syllabus should be decided by the board, education board at the state government level or a ministry of or department of education. But I'll give the suggestions to make such things so that it will be implemented. It is going to be
You will
beneficial.
give suggestions to whom?
So HRD secretary, if
Without being asked, you will give suggestions. That's what you're suggesting. My question was, what innovative measures you will take in your district?
so at district level, if we leave the changes in the curriculum, I suggest that the experience-based learning can be inculcated. Like students should be given the opportunity to learn many things. And third is healthcare. Sir, it's like I'll go for pyramidal structures. Like the base, many clinics should be at the village level, at the block level, and the primary and secondary. Most of the things should be taken care at the block and the district level.
Would you like to include yoga and meditation also? Because you
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
these are your interests.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what
That you can do.
was my third point in education, but I cut
Wonderful.
short.
Very nice. Good.
Sir just mentioned about yoga and meditation. I try to meditate many times, but how can I clear my mind of unwanted thoughts?
Sir, meditation never teaches you to clear your minds. It will give you the thoughtless and you just observe yourself whatever it's going in your mind.
I try
Just
a lot,
leave
but
it.
I am not able to do that.
Yes, sir. I also tried. Everyone tries. If you see, sir, the problem is when we try to something get rid of, we won't. So the problem is while meditating, we should not think that I have to leave this thought. I have to leave this thought. Oh, why this thought is coming in my mind? Just let it be. Let the thought come. Whatever comes, let the thought. Even if it is so bad thought, or even if it is so wrong, morally or ethically, let it come. Let it come, and it will go automatically. And indulge ourselves with the surrounding sounds, noise, whatever is coming. Within a minute or two, we will see that thought goes down, new thoughts will come. So it's like that.
Fair enough. You just mentioned something about ethics. How can honesty and ethics be promoted in public administration?
Sir, in public administration, the candidates which are being recruited at the like UPSC has also introduced ethics subjects. So not only that, since school if we are studying the ethics and the moral values, somehow if we see it's going to be impacted, it's going to impact on the students' mindset or the thinking. So first thing is that, sir, inculcating through the education system itself. And second, sir, we need to time to time we need to remotivate, means motivate the personnel with career training or half yearly or yearly base, that what's their objective, what's the objective of organization, what's the goal of organization, and one should be motivated towards achieving that goal. And Gandhiji's talisman should be always given always they should reinforce that thought that you have been selected for that and you need to bring justice into the society.
So moving on to your home state Bihar, what would you recommend to attract investors in Bihar?
So investors are attracted to a place where they think that first thing is that whatever they are investing, they will get the return out of it. And the basis of that is the safety and security, law and order, safety and security. So if we see recent years, we have seen the increase in investment, and Bihar is growing at the rate of nearly 11% per year. That is highest in whole country. But sir, the image created in the previous 15-20 years back that many engineers were kidnapped or the kind of law and order problems were there. So many of the companies, whatever were there, they shut their shops there and they went to some other state. Similarly, if we somehow try to make our image or re-image Bihar's image, then we will try to win the sentiments of investors.
Fair enough. Why did you choose geography as your optional subject?
Sir, I am computer science graduate and that was not in the UPSC syllabus. So I chose geography and I was in the arts paper if we see, geography I was preparing in school times. So I had interest of that.
You are currently posted in West Bengal.
Yes, sir.
So why is it named West Bengal when there is no East Bengal?
Sir, it is East Bengal that became Bangladesh later on. So the border that was divided in 1947, that was actually based on the division that made in 1905 when Curzon divided Bengal. So that was East Bengal and West Bengal. Later on, that same name that.
But they changed the name of Calcutta. This became Kolkata.
Sir, the Bengali accent and Bengali culture, means Calcutta was actually name derives from Kalikata, a village in Kolkata.
Okay, and my last question is, can you tell me the subtle differences between terrorism, militancy, fundamentalism and insurgency?
So terrorism is an act of violence against the civilians or any life and property to threaten the government against to prove their significance or something, to achieve something.
Militancy.
Militancy is when general public takes up the arm against the state to demand their to justify their demand. That becomes militancy. Sir, in Naxalism we say that they take up the arms. That is so militancy. And then third is sir, insurgency is if outsider influences our bordering districts and they come with the arms and influence the locals and make them insurgents and demand their way of threatening the local law and order problem, that becomes insurgency. Fundamentalism is the philosophy of any religion or ethnicity or anything. If we go with the basic fundamentalism, a very hard bound, stubborn, and they are not able to change with the time, that becomes fundamental.
So what is happening in JNU, what would you term it?
So JNU protests are just simple dissent against democracy, and democracy provides the right to dissent. And I don't think, sir, we can quote any one of them for the JNU dissent we see.
Fair enough.
Tell me, talking of the fundamental. Constitution Part 3 has chapter on fundamental rights.
Yes, sir.
You have heard the basic structure of the Constitution, basic features. Have you heard this doctrine?
Yes, sir. Doctrine of basic structure.
Yes.
Keswananda Bharti case,
Yes.
judgment of Supreme Court.
Okay, good. Are fundamental rights a basic structure of the Constitution?
Yes, sir.
So they cannot be amended?
It's not that, sir. Basic structure of Constitution says that the Constitution can be amended, even fundamental rights can be amended, but that should not impact the basic structure of the Constitution.
So my point is, there are certain aspects, there are many aspects which support this, like independence of judiciary.
Yes, sir.
So, various judges have a separation of power. About 16, 17 points, they have various judges have, said they are basic feature of the Constitution. So, fundamental right can be amended.
Can be amended, but that should not be in violation of basic structure of Constitution.
That's a different matter.
Yes.
So, what is the difference between the Kesavanand Bharati case and Golaknath case?
Sir, in Golaknath case, it was, if I am right, it was said that fundamental rights cannot be amended. And in 1967, I think. And then Kesavanand Bharati case, it was that fundamental rights can be amended, but they came up with the doctrine of basic structure.
Structure was good.
Yes.
Just wait outside, we will call you.
Thank you, sir. It's
How
been
many marks you got in your interview?
176.
Okay.